Hey there, my friend. It's Liz again. Welcome back to our podcast. I can understand English, but I can't speak it. You've made it to episode 4, and that means one thing: you are serious about improving your English. So, give yourself a big smile right now, because you deserve it. In the last episode, we talked about how to train your mouth and your confidence to speak naturally. And today, we're going to discover another powerful secret. Not if you want to speak better, you must listen better. Sounds simple, right? But most people don't understand how important listening really is. So in this episode, we'll go deep. I'll show you why listening is the key to speaking, how to train your ears, and how to make English enter your brain automatically. Let's go! On part 1, the magic connection between listening and speaking. Think about how a baby learns to speak. A baby doesn't start with grammar books or vocabulary lists. A baby starts by listening, hours and hours every single day. Before a baby says their first word, they've already listened for thousands of hours. Their brain has collected all the sounds, tones, and patterns. And then one day something amazing happens. They start speaking. You see, speaking is not the beginning. Listening is. So if you understand English but can't speak it, that means your listening hasn't been active enough. You've been listening to understand, but not to learn how to speak. There's a difference between passive listening and active listening. Part 2, passive versus active listening. Let me explain. Passive listening is when you hear English but don't really pay attention. For example, when you watch Netflix with subtitles in your language. You understand the story, but you don't focus on the sounds, rhythm, or pronunciation. That's okay sometimes. It helps your brain get used to English. But if you want to speak, you need to practice active listening. Active listening means you listen carefully. Notice how words sound, how sentences rise and fall, how emotions are expressed. It's when you imitate what you hear, even silently. It's when your brain says, "Oh, that's how they say it." That's how you start speaking naturally, by listening with purpose. Well, part 3, how to train your listening. Now let's get practical. Here are 5 ways to train your ears and make English a natural part of your life. Choose your input wisely. Don't listen to English that's too hard or too boring. Find materials that are close to your level. Songs, YouTube videos, or podcasts like this one. If you understand about 70–80%, that's perfect. Because when English is too easy, you don't learn. And when it's too hard, your brain shuts down. So find your sweet spot. Listen every day, even for 10 minutes. Listening is like watering a plant. If you do it every day, the plant grows. If you forget for weeks, it dies. 10 minutes a day is enough to make a difference. But do it every day. It's better to listen for 10 minutes daily than for 3 hours once a week. Repeat and shadow. Remember shadowing from episode 3? That's where listening becomes speaking. When you shadow, you listen and repeat at the same time. It connects your ears, your mouth, and your brain. Find a short audio clip, maybe from a movie or a podcast, and try to repeat every word. You'll make mistakes, but that's okay. What matters is rhythm and flow. Listen without subtitles. Subtitles are useful, but they can become a crutch. Sometimes try listening without them. Close your eyes and focus only on the sound. At first it feels difficult, but after a while, your brain starts recognizing words automatically. You'll be amazed at how much you understand just by listening. Use your emotions. Don't just listen, feel. When you listen with emotion, your brain remembers better. If the speaker is happy, smile. If the scene is funny, laugh. If it's sad, feel it. Emotion makes learning powerful. Then part 4, real life listening routine. Let me share what I did when I was learning Spanish. Every morning, while brushing my teeth, I listened to a short Spanish podcast. Then, while walking to work, I repeated sentences out loud. In the evening, I watched 10 minutes of a Spanish show without subtitles. Just 30 minutes a day, but every single day. And guess what? After 3 months, I could understand people easily. After 6 months, I started speaking naturally, without thinking too much. So don't wait for the perfect time. Start today, use every free minute. Even when you're cooking, cleaning, or walking, let English enter your ears. Your brain will thank you later. Part 5, the 3 listening stages. Now let's go a bit deeper. Your listening progress has 3 stages. Stage 1, you hear sounds but no meaning. At first, everything sounds fast and confusing. That's okay. Your brain is adjusting. Pamimag stage 2. You understand words and short phrases. You start catching familiar expressions. You know, I think so. Let's go. In stage 3, you understand ideas and feelings. You don't need to translate anymore. You just understand. That's when your speaking starts to explode. Naturally. So, wherever you are right now, don't worry. You're moving forward. Part 6, listening mindset. Let's fix your mindset about listening. Many learners say, I listen, but I don't understand everything. And I always tell them, you don't have to. Even native speakers don't understand everything. Sometimes they ask, sorry, what did you say? The goal is not to understand 100%. The goal is to understand enough and to enjoy the process. So, stop trying to catch every word. Focus on the message, the emotion, and the rhythm. Your brain will fill in the rest. Part 7, practice exercises. Let's do some active listening practice together. I'll say a short sentence, and you repeat after me. Focus on rhythm, tone, and emotion. Ready? I love listening to English. Every sound helps me grow. I understand more every day. My ears are getting stronger. English is becoming my friend. Perfect. Now, I'll say a small conversation. Try to follow and repeat. A. Hey, how's your day going? B. Pretty good. Just finished my English practice. Nice. You're getting better. B. Thanks. I can feel the difference. Simple, right? But it trains your listening, your pronunciation, and your confidence all at once. Part 8, music and movies. Here's a fun way to learn, through songs and movies. Pick your favorite English song. Listen carefully to the lyrics. Then sing along. Yes, sing. Singing helps your tongue move faster, your pronunciation improve, and your rhythm feel natural. As for movies, choose one you love and watch it several times. First with subtitles in English, then without. Notice how characters speak, how they pause, how their voices rise and fall. And here's a trick. Choose one actor or actress and try to imitate their voice. Pretend you're in the movie. Have fun with it. When you enjoy what you're listening to, you learn 10 times faster. And part 9, listening goals. Let's make this practical. Set a small goal for yourself. I will listen to 10 minutes of English every day for 30 days. That's it. Simple. Don't make it too complicated. You can even write it down. Day 1, English podcast. Day 2, song plus lyrics. Day 3, movie scene. Day 4, YouTube video. Day 5, repeat and shadow. And repeat. After 30 days, you'll feel the difference. Not only in your listening, but in your speaking too. On part 10, believe in the process. Let me be real with you. Improving your listening takes time. You won't see results overnight, but every minute you listen, every sound, every word is building something inside you. It's like planting seeds. You don't see the tree yet, but it's growing under the ground. So trust the process. Keep going, even when it feels slow, because one day you'll realize you're not just listening anymore. You're understanding. And soon after that, you'll be speaking. Part 11, the 24-hour challenge. Are you ready for your new challenge? At your 24-hour listening challenge, choose one English audio you like, a podcast, song, or video. Listen to it 3 times today. First, just listen. Second, listen and read along. Third, listen and repeat out loud. Before you sleep, write down one new phrase you remember. That's it. Do this every day for 1 week, and your ears will start working like magic. Now, let's talk about something super important. Something that can completely change the way you learn English. Today, we're going to talk about how to think in English all day long. You've probably heard people say, you must think in English if you want to speak fluently. But what does that really mean? And how can you actually do it? Well, stay with me because today, I'll show you how to train your brain to switch from your native language to English, naturally and easily. Let's get started. Our part 1, why you should think in English. First, let's talk about why it's so important to think in English. When you translate everything in your head before you speak, you create a delay. You know this moment, right? Someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" And your brain goes, 1. Think of the answer in your language. 2. Translate it to English. 3. Try to say it. By the time you finish, the conversation is already over. That's why thinking in English is key. It helps you respond faster, speak naturally, and sound more confident. When you stop translating, English becomes part of your thoughts, not just a school subject. Part 2, how I started thinking in English. When I was learning French, I had the same problem. I understood everything, but couldn't speak fast. I translated every word from English to French in my mind, and it was exhausting. Then one day, my teacher told me something that changed everything. She said, "Liz, stop learning French. Start living in French." At first, I didn't understand, but later I realized what she meant. I had to stop thinking about the language and start thinking inside the language. So I made a decision. From that day on, I would think in French every single day. At first, it was hard. My brain wanted to go back to English all the time. But little by little, I started saying small things in French inside my head. Simple sentences like, "I'm hungry. Where is my phone? It's cold today." And guess what? After 2 months, I started dreaming in French. That's when I knew I was truly thinking in the language. On to part 3, start small. Now it's your turn. Let's start small. Don't try to think in English all day from the beginning. That's too much pressure. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Here's what you do. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, talk to yourself in English. Say things like, "Good morning, Liz. What time is it? I have to brush my teeth. I feel sleepy." It doesn't matter if it sounds simple. Simple is powerful. Because when you say small sentences often, they become automatic. And automatic English is fluent English. Part 4, the no translation rule. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Liz, sometimes I don't know how to say something in English. That's okay. Here's the golden rule. If you don't know a word, don't stop thinking. Use another word or describe it. Visualization exercise. Let's do a fun exercise together. Close your eyes again. Imagine you're walking into a coffee shop in New York. You hear people speaking English all around you. The smell of coffee fills the air. You walk to the counter and think, "What should I order?" You look at the menu and say in your mind, "I'll get a cappuccino, please." Then you find a seat and think, Wow, it feels good to understand everything. That's what it's like to think in English. It's not about grammar. It's about living inside the language. Thinking in English is a habit, not something you force. Don't tell yourself, I must think in English all day. Instead, say, I'll think in English for 10 minutes now. Little by little, those 10 minutes become 30, then an hour, then all day. Consistency wins. Remember, small steps every day beat big steps once in a while. Ready for your challenge? The Think in English Challenge. For the next 24 hours, try to keep your thoughts in English as much as possible. Here's how. Morning. Talk to yourself while getting ready. Afternoon. Describe what you see and feel. Evening. Write a short diary in English, even 3 sentences. Don't translate. Don't worry. Just think and speak freely. And at the end of the day, notice how your brain feels lighter. That's your progress. Listen, my friend. You're not just learning English. You're learning how to think differently. Every time you think in English, you're building a new version of yourself. A stronger, braver, more confident one. Remember this quote? The language you think in becomes the way you see the world. So imagine, what kind of world are you creating for yourself when you think in English? A world full of new people, opportunities, and dreams. That's why you're here. So be proud of yourself, because you're not just learning, you're transforming. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and tell me, what do you usually think about in English? And remember, this is not just a podcast, it's a journey. A journey to the moment when you won't just understand English, you'll live in it. In the next episode, I'll reveal another powerful secret. How to stop being shy and speak English with confidence, even with native speakers. You don't want to miss it. So stay strong, stay positive, and keep thinking in English, because you are closer than you think.